I love low profile keyboards. Now today's video is sponsored by Cooler Master, as we will be talking about their new SK630 mechanical keyboard, which is their TKL version of the SK650. So this keyboard actually came out earlier this year, but after several months they finally released a limited edition color in white, because the original one was in black. So there are several people that have already done videos and reviews on this keyboard and they've given their feedback, but I finally got my hands on one and I've been using it for the past 2 weeks, and I would like to give my thoughts on this keyboard, as there are certain things that I agree with what other reviewers have said, and also some things that I disagree with. So yeah, if you're new to this channel, my name is Harji, and if you enjoy tech videos, consider subscribing for more content like this. If you're looking for some awesome accessories for your gaming setup or just decorations around your house, DISPLATE.com has a ton of incredible artwork uploaded by talented artists around the world that get printed into solid metal posters. These DISPLATE posters are very durable since they are made out of metal sheets as opposed to conventional poster paper, and they are super easy to set up with a magnetic adhesive and step-by-step instructions. Additionally, DISPLATE.com is on a mission to building an eco-friendly world, because for every poster you buy, they plant 10 trees. If you enjoy my content and want to show your support, please check out my affiliate link in the description below to shop and learn more. So let's get the specs out of the way first, and then talk about the more important side of things, which would be the user experience. Now, coming in at $140 US, the SK630 limited edition white is built on an aluminum base frame mixed with plastic. Now, it is quite sturdy and has very little flex. It targets the minimalistic style with chiclet type keycaps using Cherry MX low profile red switches. Now, these low profile cherry reds are linear, have a travel distance of 3.2 millimeters and 1.2 millimeters on the actuation point. The keyboard is really light, weighing under 600 grams, which is about 1.3 pounds. As for the dimensions, it's roughly 35 by 12.5 centimeters length and width, and sitting height of 3 centimeters at the top of the keyboard. Now, the connection type is USB Type-C and comes with a beautiful pearl white braided cable. It looks super clean, and I definitely dig the aesthetics of this keyboard. On the bottom side, you get 4 rubber feet for no slip, but there is no foldable feet for that incline typing experience, and I'll talk more about this later in the video. Now, other notable features include 1 millisecond response time, onboard memory in conjunction with the 32-bit ARM Cortex-M3 processor that allows you to save macros, and speedy, accurate keystroke registrations. The SK630 is plug and play and also has RGB presets and lighting modes ready to go without the use of Cooler Master's Portal software. Now, you can access and change the RGB effects by using the function key, which is designated with Cooler Master's logo here, in combination with the F keys. Now, additionally, the multimedia keys are bound to the right side of the keyboard here with your insert, home, delete, page up and down, etc. Now, if you download their Portal software, you can unlock much more effects and functionalities with the keyboard. And here is a quick sound test for the SK630. So at the time of making this video, I wasn't able to get the Portal software to detect the SK630 keyboard on my computer so that I can showcase like all the customizations that you guys can do on your computer for this keyboard. I asked Cooler Master about it. I thought it would be a firmware issue that hasn't been implemented yet. I'm not sure, I still don't know, I still can't get it to work to this day. Maybe I'll try again in a few days or something like that. But on that note, the SK630 keyboard, along with its other variations, have been out for a while now, and people have made tutorials on the software. Even Cooler Master themselves have a tutorial on the software. You can find it pretty easily, and from what I've seen, the layout is pretty simple and straightforward. I don't think it's difficult to learn at all and navigate. So with that being said, now I'm going to talk about my thoughts and perspectives on the keyboard in terms of the user experience. All right, point number one. This keyboard is definitely more of a productivity and work type of use. You can use it for gaming, and I've tried playing a few games with it like CSGO, League of Legends, and Heroes of the Storm. It's not bad, but it's not the best either. Now, it's because the chiclet keycaps doesn't give the gamer that grippy feel for gaming, but some people might actually like it. So these are just my personal thoughts and how I felt about it when I was using it for gaming. A couple tech YouTubers have mentioned that it takes a few days, weeks, or even longer for someone to get used to this layout, especially if you're coming from a more conventional mechanical keyboard. Now, I personally didn't have this issue because I got used to it within a few hours, and I'm coming from the Corsair K70, which uses the regular Cherry MX switches, and I'm someone who has never used a chiclet keyboard on a regular basis. So getting used to this keyboard is entirely a case-by-case basis on the individual. All right, point number three. Speaking of Cherry MX switches, several months ago I did a review on Corsair's low-profile K70 keyboard, which shares the same type of low-profile switches as this Cooler Master SK630 in this video. Now, upon receiving this keyboard, there was one issue that I was really concerned about, and that is key chattering. And I suspected that it wasn't Corsair's fault maybe, because I was thinking, okay, maybe Cherry just had developed a really poor design with their low profile switches, because I went through 5 different low profile Corsair K70 keyboards and they all had really bad key chattering. Now, 5 keyboards in a row within a 3-week span is pretty bad. That's not unlucky, that means there's something wrong. I was running back and forth to Best Buy and Micro Center switching keyboards to find one that didn't have this issue at all. And I just didn't have any luck with that. And I was basing my concerns from my prior experience and made assumptions about this SK630, but after 2 weeks of use, I didn't actually get a single key chatter with Cooler Master's keyboard. So key chattering is not an issue in this keyboard, in this model. All right, point number 4. There was one thing I found really annoying about this keyboard, and that was the enter button. The enter button wouldn't register about 50% of the time. I'm not sure if it's my particular unit. I had a faulty Cherry switch under that key or not. If you guys have this keyboard, if you guys have the original SK630 or any of its variants, if you have issues with this, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, so I was typing my script for this video, paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs, and I can see that for productivity, the enter button might be a little bit annoying if this is a reoccurring issue across other units, but also for gaming, I can see that if people are using this keyboard for gaming, if you're trying to communicate with your teammates, trying to send like chat messages back and forth, you might experience some delay or some issues in that sense. So yeah, that's just literally one key on my keyboard that's kind of given me some issues. Point number 5. I do agree with what some of the other reviewers have said about this keyboard, and that's the price point. I think $140 is a bit steep for what it offers. For example, there is no mute button for media controls, which honestly doesn't really affect me because I never use the mute button on my keyboards, the ones that do have it. So yeah, it doesn't really concern me. But for other people who do want it, I can see how this might be a new way of using your keyboard for media controls. You just have to down the volume the old-fashioned way. Another one is lack of foldable feet at the bottom. I personally don't need this as I prefer the keyboard to be as low as possible, but for other people who want it, I think it's quite an easy thing to implement, and Cooler Master should have included it at this price point. Overall, aside from the previously mentioned like hardware improvements that I think that this keyboard could use and should have at its $140 price point, I think this keyboard looks great and feels great. I really enjoy typing on this keyboard, especially the keycaps. I don't know what it is, but there's something addictive about typing on a chiclet keyboard. I don't know what it is, but I really enjoyed using it. I like the way it looks, I like the aesthetics of it, I like the RGB lighting preset modes that you can use without the use of the software. I think that's really handy. And the USB-C is also a nice feature as we're going into the future. I think every product should have USB-C. And the braided cable is really nice too. I've never seen like a really clean pearl white braided cable on a keyboard. I think it's really high class. The SK630 is a very compact keyboard. It's easy to carry around, very portable. Cooler Master also gives you a nice black suede bag to protect your keyboard as you're carrying it wherever you go. Alright, so let me know what you think of this SK630 keyboard or any of the other variances. If you have a SK keyboard from Cooler Master, let me know what your thoughts are, what what you like about it, what you didn't like about it. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. And thank you so much for tuning in, because I do appreciate your time in watching my content. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.